Hello, everybody. I'm just sending our guest the code here. A big hello to you all. I hope you have had a great week so far. I've been a bit quiet this week. Took a couple of days off and also been back to back with clients. And oh, here he comes. Has to open the door, doesn't he, when I've just started doing this. Ashley Booth, hello. How are you, sweetheart? Good to have you on here. Jen Lee, good afternoon, Jen. Good to see you here. And Sarah Lewis is on as well. Hey, sweetie, to you too. Here he comes. Look.
Hello.
I know. Lance is on. He's just as you did that, Lance is on. Hi, Lara.
Lance.
And hi, Ben, as well. Right, you were all here. We're all present and correct. So, Ashley, it must be morning where you are, is it? Because you've said good morning. Marta's on as well. Hi, Marta. Jenny. Hi, Jenny. Jay as well. Jay Todd. Hello, Jay. And Andrea. Hello, Andrea. So there you go. Ben's preparing to do the podcast with the fabulous Lance that's on here right now. Yeah, so he's rearranged. He's just said to me, do you mind if I use your computer? I have to tell you, he says hi, by the way. Okay, now don't walk in front of the internet, for goodness sake. Chantel as well is on. Hi, Chantel. And you're a new viewer. Ashley, it's good to have you on here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Say a big hello to everybody. We've got Reiki here as well. Or Kiki, sorry. God, that's my eyesight. There's all these bright lights everywhere. Kiki, good to have you on here. Jackie Holcroft. Hello, Jackie. I think we've got a few new names in here. Guys, get to know the community. Here we've got a fabulous load of people on here. We're all here, all love to be inspired, all like to share the love. Beth Sibbering as well. Hello, Beth. It's good to have you on here. We're well. I hope everybody else is well there too. Eileen, I thought you were out for a walk. I think the Major's just about to come on because she's clicked already and she's waiting in the wings. I think, are we early? We're definitely early. We're 2 minutes early. It's typical that she's early. We are talking about empowerment today, and nobody knows about empowerment better than Major Boss herself. All right, so let me just add her in. Right, Jay, thank you so much for sharing. Stuart, a big hello to you as well. We're going to share the Major herself. Hello, how are you?
Good morning.
It's good morning, of course, yeah. Oh, wow, look at that hair. It's still looking gorgeous.
Thank you.
Well, we're saying hello to everyone. We've got Adi as well. Is it Adi? Is that how I pronounce it? Adi Toma, a big hello to you. We've got Sarah Crichton's on, Jan Oakes. We've got Jan, a big hello, and Stuart as well. He's on. I discovered the other day we did a kind of interview, didn't we, with Dr. Jack Hunter, I think it was, on fairies the other day, and discovered that Stuart actually is a fairyologist. So that's really good. Judith as well. Good big hello to you as well. It's Jude, new profile, Jude. I wonder when I saw Helen, I'm like, I know that name. So what's with the new profile? We will get round to doing reading shortly, right? So it's still great for you to share, but at the moment we're going to be speaking with Jessica here on empowerment, aren't you? Do you know what inspired me, actually? I went on to one of your videos and you were on about trying to get out the funk. I think the sound wasn't great, was it? But it was good that you were doing this. Have we got a bit of a feedback thing going on here? Have we? Can you...
I'm not sure. How about now?
I think it's when I'm talking. Yeah, it was just a slight feedback there, but it's okay. We'll work with it. Let us know if you can hear us okay, and if you're getting a feedback, those of you that are watching, that would be really good as well. And so tell us about the other day when because I've been also looking at your videos where you've been doing powerlifting as well. Is this a new thing?
Yeah, I just Saturday I did a drop-in class at a CrossFit gym that was near me, and I just was like, this is what I need to do to keep my sanity, and so I joined the gym on Monday, and I've been going every day since.
Wow. And did you have to learn a special technique for it as well?
So I had done some elliptic lifting and some CrossFit before, so it's all kind of like having to refresh and take it slow to kind of get back into things.
Very good. Well, you looked impressive. Can I just say that?
Thank
All
you.
right. These massive big weights, and you look really tiny compared to them as well. You know, it reminded me, and a big hello to John Spratt's on as well. Spratty is in the house, everybody. And who knows, Spratty, if you're wanting to come on, if you're bored, I'll send you a little link. All right. You can always pop on maybe just shortly once we get past the sort of the whole female empowerment bit. But it's a bit like life, isn't it? You know, these big obstacles, right? So you're lifting the big, you know, the weights, right? Because in one of the videos you could hardly see you because of the weight that you lifted. You tried to get yourself underneath it, I think, and then it kind of just dropped. It kind of is reminiscent, isn't it, of life itself, carrying the weight of the world.
Yes.
Would you agree?
Yes.
And do you feel that by doing that, did you feel empowering? Did you feel that it made you feel that you could cope with anything that life was throwing at you, or how did it make you feel?
I think I'm kind of in the process of learning how, right? And that's very reminiscent of even in that video. It's like I'm still learning how to do the lift properly. So in my mind, I'm like thinking, okay, what's the next step? How do I have to pull it up? You know, where do I need to position my feet? And I kind of feel like that's where I am right now in life as I've stepped into this new journey is like, okay, I'm trying to figure it out. It's not all flowing. It's not all easy. So yeah.
It is, and you've had so many battles, haven't you? I've got a big. Can I just say a shout out to Brian the dog, right? Brian, who is my #1 fan. We can't give him a fan badge, but Brian likes to sit and listen and watch the show when we're on. I'm gonna just say that. And they have a menagerie of like 8 dogs and like 10 or 12 cats. They've got so many animals. I think, Andrew, I keep forgetting how many we're talking about here. Is it 8 dogs, 10 cats? If I got the numbers the wrong way around, please do let us know. But there's so many on here that are like, you know, you're bound to have had the lockdown has probably enhanced things, hasn't it? You know, really making us go to ground of what our issues have been, you know, what we were putting up with before that we shouldn't have been put up with before. Yeah, so you just put the microphone. Is it your microphone that's kind of making that tinny sound, is it?
Yeah, I just hit mute so you wouldn't get feedback.
That's okay. So we've got Eileen that's saying hi, Major Boss there. We've got good afternoon, lady, says Pat. A big hello. They've all been delighted about you coming on here. John says give him a shout when we've talked about the female empowerment bit and they'll jump on. So it'll be good for you to meet John. Another Scottish sidekick. He's hilarious. Let me tell you, he is hilarious. Right. So the tell us about your week, right? Because you're a work in progress at the moment, aren't you? Right. We were telling everybody the last time where you were in life before, and kind of you made a major shift, right? So the major word isn't necessarily to do with your position in the military. It's also the fact that you don't just do tiny shifts, do you, girl? You do major ones, right? You kind of go into this space, you hold it, and then you leap forward. And now she's given up her day job. She's actually powerlifting, right? You've totally crushed your life down, didn't you? And you're in the process of rebuilding it. So what would you say for anybody that's there right now who is going through a kind of funky time, you know, as you call it, getting out your funk, you know, that low mood, you know, that feeling that you just are dragging your ass out of bed and you're dragging your spirit and your soul? And what would you say are your top tips in order for people to feel better and get out their funk?
So I think looking back on it, you know, the last week I was working, I was super excited. I could see, you know, the light at the end of the tunnel, and it was so exciting. And then that weekend came and I was pumped. Monday I had a plan. I was going to work out. Had my schedule kind of set because, you know, I wanted to be a part of that 5 a.m. club, gets up, gets ready, takes care of their stuff. You know, Tuesday kind of come around and I'm still feeling off the high, and then like Wednesday hit and I was just like, oof. All the reality kind of starts to hit in, like, oh my God, this is really what you just did, right? Like, you really just quit your job and you really, you know, all this stuff. And so I just was really feeling it. I was feeling it a lot that day. And so, you know, I asked for some feedback of people, what did they like or what did they do to get out of their funk, you know? And I ended up, the end of the day, I went to a friend's house. We ate and chatted, watched the sunset, and really helped pull me out of the funk. And then today, kind of making and if you guys seen the video, like you see the colors that I was wearing. So today I changed up my colors in bright and sunshiny, and not that that's what works for everybody, but that's just kind of what worked for me. So that I could see the bright colors and that could kind of bring that into my life.
But there's the Jude, we call her Jude, but she's got a new profile, Judith Heron. There she goes. Hi, Major, right? Because do you know, you think you've got problems, guys, right? You probably try going from a military uniform into look at you wearing a dress and all feminine and everything.
I know.
Ta-da! Like so. Listen, you don't get more different than that, let me tell you. So you're bound to have your bad days. So basically, the 5 a.m. club, you hit day 3, was it? This week, and you suddenly thought, oh God, you know, you maybe wanted to run for the security of a normal job, right? The security of having those boundaries, because you being in the military, you're probably very conditioned, aren't you, to certain guidelines, certain stipulations, right? Indoctrinated into their routine of things, right? Are you missing that in any way?
I'm definitely missing the structure as well as the social aspect, right? You know, I'm a very social creature. And so having a job or being in the military, like you always know you're going to see somebody. So those are some challenges that I am looking to overcome. And then I also think I found that it's easier for me to respect other people and their timelines and their due dates. But when it comes to myself, I tend to not give myself the same respect. And so I'll set forth like, hey, this is what we need to get done today. But I'll basically tell myself to piss off and not do it. But if it were somebody else, I'd been like, and so that's just an interesting realization that I think I kind of already knew, but it's like now even more prominent because I have to do what I say. Otherwise, nothing gets done and the bills don't get paid, right?
So do you think it's taking it from somebody else telling you what to do to having the ability to upload to yourself what to do? You know, like you get all these thoughts going, I call it mental warfare, all these thoughts going around in the head, right? Mm-hmm. They don't go anywhere, do they? They then end up sabotaging and, you know, turning in on you, and actually having the ability to go, right, girl, get your ass into gear, get your backside out, get the feet on the ground. I set my alarm at the far end of the room so that when it goes off, I get up like straight away, because I know that psychologically, if I lie there, if I have it next to my bed, not only am I next to all the, the phone, radiation and stuff, but I'll just switch it off or I'll put it on snooze, right? And then I'm lying there. I don't necessarily go back to sleep. But all these, you start to think about these thoughts, right? You pick up on maybe what you haven't finished the day before. Before you know it, you're stressing out. And I'm not sure, Andrea, Katie, with Star Wars trousers counts as a military uniform. I've put that up before. But I have to say, we're now intrigued as to what they look like. Aren't we, the Star Wars ones? Yeah, I'm going to look forward to seeing that picture of Mr. B afterwards, Andrea. I've got to say, Kate said it's mind games and doing it. Now, Andrea's partner, Kate, she actually is high up in the Navy, so she is. That's why she was talking about the Star Wars and they joke about it all the time. So they do. They've got the loads of the menagerie, the huge family of animals. So they have. So I do look forward to that. And even though Stuart's here, let me tell you, it's not just about female empowerment, it's about personal empowerment, this, isn't it? Because in the military, there's no difference now between the male and the female. You're expected to do as a man would do, all right? You're expected to do that. So how relevant in real life has your training been to actually getting your life sorted and in order? Is there any correlation, or is it literally like starting again?
I think there's definitely some correlation, but it's in such a different format that it feels like it's starting over anew.
Yeah.
Because, and I think we kind of talked about it in our past session, is now I need to take that transition of I had a commander and I listened to what he or she said, and that was my focus, and that was what I based my career and life around. But now I am now taking on the role of commander and chief of this new life. And how does that look? And how do I operate in that? So I guess that's a very similar, but very different in the sense of you're serving yourself and not another master.
That's right. You are the commander. You are the master. All right. I remember you lighting up like a Christmas tree when we talked about that. You are CEO of your own company. And guys, you watching right now, each one of you are CEO of your own company, right? As in your personal company. Okay. Love this. Interesting. Listen to the female perspectives of Stuart on empowerment. Absolutely. Because you know what, Stuart? We're not men and men are not women. As much as we try and understand them, we are not the opposite of what we are, right? We can have a great understanding, but that's probably just about, where it ends. So guess what? This is going to be sharing time, guys, right? Because I have my cards here. I want you to share, right? Here's what we do today, right? I love this because it's like giving them tasks to do. If you're on a device, go over your left-hand side, hit share, and then a window pop up, go and share into groups, right? Share into pages, share into pages that you're allowed to share on. Send in Messenger if you want, but share as much as you can, right? From now, we're going to do this for a minute or so. I've got my cards in hand, but I also would like you to think about a question that you'd like to ask the major here, all right? A question that she can answer regarding what it takes to completely shift your life, change direction, all right, and start again in a new life, because Jessica here has completely changed hers. She's changed her life, she's changed her love, she's changed her finances, and if anybody knows how to do that, she does. All right, so get going, get sharing, get sharing into groups, get sharing onto pages that you're allowed. I am shuffling the cards and I'm going to pick 2 people that have shared the most, all right, in order to do a little quick reading right here, right now. So let's go. We're just going to talk amongst ourselves, aren't we, Jessica, while we're doing this? So even the way, now let's talk about relationships, because we did cover this a bit in our session this week. The way that you do relationships as well now, has that changed?
Oh, most definitely. Before I felt like I wasn't the commander in that. And now like we talked about the other day, is like now it's kind of that fuck it energy that, you know what, you like me, you don't. I'm not attached to the expectation or the outcome. I'm just getting to know you or enjoying you and seeing where this can go. And before I used to have like, okay, this is what needs to happen. This needs to turn to that, X, Y, and Z, X, Y, Z. And like creating this whole story of like, having daydreams of like, we're married. What the hell? Come on. I don't even know you.
You're right, because as little girls, right, are we not? We're conditioned to fairy stories, aren't we? That we grow up, we meet the man of our dreams, we get married, and we live happily ever after. And real life, Jessica, like that? No, it's not like that indeed. We fall at the first hurdle, we get used, we get abused, and most of the time we're floundering around in the dark going, oh my God, which direction am I supposed to be heading in? What's this? I mean, look at all the dating apps that you can get out there now. How do you live a life, right, of romance and love and passion with something that's virtual on a dating app? On a dating app, it's difficult, isn't it? Now, Jude has said, Major Boss, where does resilience come from when going through a major change? Love your terminology there, Jude.
All right.
So where does your resilience come from now?
I think it's got to come from within. That's where it has to start. And I was just thinking about this before we got on, is don't be afraid to pull other people on your team. Like for me, Lara's on my team. She helps me keep moving forward. Though I have the fortitude in myself to like say I want to keep going, she helps pull me along. And I have some other people along the way that do that as well. And don't be afraid to do that. And I think kind of mentorship is a really huge thing that we've kind of lost in this day and age. And I'm not sure why, but there used to be somebody that was ahead of you a few steps or maybe 20 years, and they would show you the way that they took. And maybe it wasn't necessarily your path, but they helped you see where you could go and how you could get there. And so that's kind of what I'd like to do is try to mentor people in my own path and help them see where that they can go. So that's what I encourage you to do. The resilience comes from within. You have to have that ability to pick yourself back up, at least, like get yourself that far, and then grab on, to those around you for those lifelines to kind of get you back on your feet.
Absolutely. Andrea said after my mum died, I got that fuck it energy and I haven't lost it. There you go. It's that fuck it. It's in fact, Claire Petulengra and I, we said each day, something's happened, and we've got UFA. We call it UFW. That's it. Unfuckable with. That's right. So we said we're threatening to get t-shirts made, right? Just to remind ourselves that fuck it energy. It's a bit like, fuck it, and we always say it. There's an energy in it as well, isn't it? Of detachment, allowing you to move on. Katie Wells says, I was in the Royal Navy for 16 years and only left because I was medically discharged due to stress and PTSD. I found the transition to civil life really tough. It's almost like I lost my whole identity and family. We have all the animals who keep me going because I have to take care of myself in order to take care of them. Right? So that forces her to get up and do it because the animals are dependent on her. That's really good, actually, isn't it? Because you've got a little cat as well, haven't you? I've seen the wee one.
Yeah, I got 2. And you know what? That's funny. I put in my video the other day was I had to take care of my plants. They were kind of on the fritz. One of them was like hanging. He hadn't been watered in a while. And I was like, yeah, caring for somebody else or caring for something else helps you kind of pull from that wellspring that kind of maybe got stopped up, and you're like, I'm not doing it for me. I got to do it for somebody else,
Absolutely. See, look, Stuart, UFW, right? It's saying the name because I put it up on Facebook and suddenly it wouldn't let me see my comments or anything. I was like, oh shit, they're going to delete me. I could see them already heading right to the way of we're hiding this post and stuff. So I sent it to Claire instead. And she was like, I love that. Right? It's that UFW, unfuckable with, right? And if guys, when you're watching this right now, Stuart's jumped on it. I think we're going to get a branded t-shirt made with it. I can see it coming, just so that you can see yourself and remind you that energy, detachment, move on, sod it. Or as my friend, darling friend Stephanie Ellington Dodds says, chuck it in the fuck it bucket. Mentally just put it in there. Right. So like you're saying with the animals, you have to get up. You have to do that. So it teaches you, doesn't it? It's reteaching you to, I suppose, go in a different energy as well, doesn't it? That somebody else is dependent on you. Right. And if anything's going to motivate us, it's going to be that, isn't it? Yeah. Right. Guys, are you sharing? We kind of lost the momentum there a bit, didn't we, with the whole talk about the UFW. And also we got sidetracked with the animals. We actually did a couple of sessions last week, Jessica, where everybody was introducing their dogs. We had people on with their animals and stuff as well, on the live. So let's do a quick, you can take a little breather, have a little, drink of something or whatever. I'm going to do a quick couple of readings here, right? I'm going to be quickly because Jude said this is what she's had to deal with, by the way. I found my resilience after receiving devastating diagnosis. After being sexually assaulted, found out I'm HIV now, on meds for life. All right. So it's affected her ability to have family and everything, right? All because of the wrong relationship, right? And somebody not being honest with her, basically. And she's had to work her way from the life that she knew before into a new life entirely for completely different reasons. Nobody ever talks about HIV now, do they? That's the thing. But luckily they got meds where it keeps it, at bay. But of course, it means that there's other issues as well as a result of that. But thank you so much for sharing. Jude, I'm going to pick a couple of cards for you because you've been sharing loads. I can see that there. And the cards I've picked for you here, we've got developing your spiritual side, because even Jessica, the major here, will tell you that you can't really do an awful lot without developing some daily spiritual disciplines, right? And it's the spirit that motivates everything else. All right, a bit like you can't expect to have an engine or working without putting fuel in it, can you? And we often associate fuel with food, but actually it's the spirit that motivates things. You get a good, powerful spirit there. All right, Brian's now called Famous Brian. Katie, I love that, and he deserves to be famous Brian now. Famous Mr. B, we're going to call him, right? Because he's incredible. I love the fact that he sits and listens to it all like he's an authority. So go him. Jude, there's the pressure on you there. We've got the weight of the world on your shoulders there. And this is what you're carrying. And so it's time to move forward, sweetheart. It's time to put that weight down, not take responsibility for everything that's going on round about you. In particular, family members here, all right? In particular, you've got a strong spirit. Now that spirit needs addressing because she needs to rebalance it and reconnect inwardly so that you can reconnect outwardly, sweetheart. That's what's mentioned here. Okay, are we sharing? Let's say hello to... We've got Mary Heaven is on as well. Pat Taylor, good for you. Jude, Pat admires that. He is a beautiful dog, isn't he? A big hello to Sarah Crichton as well. Sarah, let's pick a couple of cards for you, sweetheart. Couple of cards coming up. Are you sharing, guys? Keep sharing into those groups. Keep sharing on pages or even sending Messenger. Why not? Just, look, I think you should come and watch this with me. Sarah, out with the old, in with the new, ready for a new chapter to start in your life. I feel like I need to go through your diet and we need to look at kind of the types of foods that you're eating. I want to go to vitamins and minerals here, really to supercharge you and really help leverage you back up again. There's some major changes, there we go, major changes that you need to make in your life, all right? And so it's time to have backbone, time to be tough, all right? And step away from what people think or people think, others think that you have been up until this point. Listen, if the major here can do that and have the guts to dye her hair pink and go powerlifting, all right, and make some major changes in her love life, sorry about the figure of speech there, then you can do anything. Because that's why she's here. She's here for inspiration for you. And also to let me also say that if follow her, guys, follow her journey, all right? She will inspire you. She also takes on clients as well, kind of just like, she runs her own programs, but go and follow her and go and find out anyway. It's the powerlifting journey because, in my head, I'm like, oh my God, I can see you competing doing that.
Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. I actually met a gentleman at the gym who started powerlifting about 3 years ago and is number 3 in the nation in the US in his age bracket, and he's 60.
No,
just started.
Wow. And he's just started.
Yeah, he started 3 years ago, and now he's already number 3 in the nation.
So it sounds like he's a natural. Good Lord.
Yes.
Wow.
So a lot of inspiring people out there. There's no doubt about that.
So do you not think, because he's just started and he's achieved number 3 status, that gives you hope, doesn't it? Doesn't that inspire you? Wow. Okay, so follow Major D Boss, right? As she's got up there at Major D Boss, right? She comes under Major Boss, but she had to put that because somebody else stole the title, didn't they? Okay.
Stolen. Probably ain't even a major.
Exactly. He's a fake one, probably. There you go. A big hello, Sharon Prosser. Good to see you on here. Lisa Paris has joined us. Sammy Wood. My God, Sammy, you started baking sponges late last night. Did you got cake boards covered? But listen, Sammy, if anybody can do this, you can, let me tell you. And you have got such a work ethic there. Don't stop until you're proud. All right, that's a motto I say to me. Every day you get up and you tell yourself you're going to be a better version of the you than you were the day before. Keep pushing yourself. Keep going forward, right? I wrote an article this week for Claire Petrillengro's Lengro magazine, and we're talking, so it'll be published next week. We're talking about in that one about how, even as little girls, did you keep a diary?
Mm-hmm.
Right, and you'd record in there every day, wouldn't you, about what you'd done that day and stuff, which was absolutely no use to anybody later on down the line, was it? Because all it's doing, if you keep looking over what you've already done, you're just creating more of the same, aren't you? Because it's what you're thinking about, it's what you're energetically buying into, you're reliving the same stuff over and over again. So I have what's called a destiny journal. All right, do you journal?
I do.
Right. Well, I call mine a destiny journal, just probably because at the time I didn't really know about, other types of journals, but believe it or not, I called it a destiny. And I also, this is my sparkly, right? It's also my healing book as well. I put names in every day, to send out healing at midnight, on that day. And guys, if anybody wants healing done, please send your name in to me, private message me, I'll pop you in the book. But I learned, like, imagination and intuition is great about creating the journey ahead of you, not to be ashamed of that. Us women, and actually some men as well, we rarely know what we want. All right. So it's about letting your imagination run riot. And I can assure you, living in this house of my dreams here, listen, if I didn't do that, I probably wouldn't be here. I would still be sitting in a wee dingy room writing my diary every day, honestly. So I owe several of these beforehand. Yeah. Stuart Legg says, that's impressive. He's loving it. And, since you've been talking, he's been washing all these crystals and everything. So he has, right? Stuart's getting his game on. He is getting his game on. This is a guy there's a fairyologist as well. He is full of surprises, let me tell you. Full of surprises. Okay, so let's get the sharing on again, guys. Anybody that wants to ask the Major here some questions? All right, Elizabeth Collins, good to have you on here. Thank you for calling in. And Pat, you're too kind. Look, Pat's bat, let me tell you, was giving her no end of jip, and we did some major healing on her last week. Plus, she's connecting with her inner spirit now due to Lara AND Rennick. She's been doing meditation classes with her, and her back pain has gone. All right, so there we go. Our back pain. Can I? Not got a clue what I want. There we go. Stuart's saying the same thing. Exactly, Stuart. Right? When we're kind of more emotionally led, intuitively led, it takes us a while to figure it out, doesn't it, Jessica? It does take us a while.
It does.
Right.
There are a lot of emotions out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, there was a point where I remember looking at you thinking, I struggled to imagine you in the military, right? Because I was like, God, did somebody tell you what to do? I bet you would have been there thinking, which direction are we going? But it was just the phase you were at in life. It was just the phase. And probably a sign that you were changing and shifting as well.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, time to share. Over to the left-hand side of your devices, hit share, a window come up, and go over to the right and share into groups. Keep sharing, share as much as you can, share in pages, and don't forget to like and follow my page so I can actually see your comments for a start, because I still get messages from people saying, I was messaging, can't you see me? And I'm like, well, no, actually I couldn't. But it turns out you've got to like and follow my page at Lara Wells Live as well. And please go and give Major here. You see her Facebook address there right on the screen. Give her a like and follow so she too can see your comments, right, when she's doing her lives. And she would appreciate your support and motivation over there. And wouldn't you? When you're doing your videos and doing your lives and stuff, it's just good to have people there that you can converse with.
Yes, it's good to have that interaction, to get other people's insights and their energy. And we talked about that, like having other people to bounce your ideas and thoughts off is definitely how my brain processes things.
Absolutely. But you want to know how to get out of a funk, like we were saying before, then Jessica is your girl. She's made some major changes. She runs programs over on her page as well. And you're soon to, was it a 6-week program you're going to be doing very shortly, or are you considering doing the 21-day challenge, right, to try and get people on board that way? And so they can do a little bit of what you're doing, a 21-day challenge. So give me the high five, guys, and loads of high fives here if you're interested in doing Jessica's 21-day challenge. All right. And let me know, let us both know who would want to do that. So it's like getting out your funk, getting motivated, and helping you make the life changes required to live in this new world that we're all heading in. All right. In fact, I think I might even sign up myself. I might go myself. All right. Lisa Paris, I'm going to pick a couple of cards here for you, sweetheart. Have you been feeling quite down the dumps? We've got depression, periods of low mood, emotion, that sort of thing. And, we did have the full moon last week, and that can really heighten things, I've got to say. Some major changes. There's me mentioning that word again. I think it's because it's in my eye contact. I keep saying it. Major changes there. Out with the old, in with the new. Love looks a little bit complicated here, Lisa. Can I just say that? And it's time to set things on the straight and narrow excuse me, and on the new path that you so rightfully deserve. The cards are saying we've taken enough of other people's bullshit, right? It is what it is. It is what it is, girl. Okay, so stand up in that and time to step forward into a new chapter. And I tell you what, I think, Lisa, I think you definitely should do the Major Here's 21-day challenge. I'm sure she'll give us the detail. Just she was speaking the other day about doing a couple of different programs and stuff, but I think she's been sidetracked with her powerlifting, to be honest with you. Oh my God. Amanda Deaton, hello, good to have you on here. And Dominique Lydon as well. Amanda, a couple of cards coming up for you. Say a big hello to everybody here. Leave me a comment on YouTube as well. It's great to have you on here. So Amanda, wow. Well, we are heading in the right direction, are we not? We've got courses, we've got faith and really developing the faith. And I think it's been a bit wavering latterly. And probably you take a look at the state of the world at the moment, and you probably will agree with me there. We need to have this conversation about the whole slave thing and the black and white thing, don't we, after this? Because I got to tell you that the world seems very mixed up right now. All right. So we'll remind us of that in a minute. It'd be useful to hear your views, so it would. And the Chariot here is saying that you are kicking some ass, Amanda. All right. And this is how it's going to be over the next 2 or 3 weeks. You'll probably feel like you're shoveling snow a little bit here. But let me tell you, there's a strong spirit within you. And this spirit is getting motivated to take a brave step onto an unknown path, unknown to you up until now. There's an application that's taking place in order to take you into a new direction, and word that you're waiting on from legal and financial matters will be more productive than you realized. Okay, sweetheart, thank you so much for coming on here. Righty-ho. Right, so Stuart says, I love when we think we've got our stuff together and the universe tests us on it. So, Stuart, do you do that deliberately? It's like red rag to a bull, doesn't it? Isn't it? When you love it when it tests us. I love it when you get round the other side. You know, when stuff feels hard. Lisa needs that challenge. Chakras are closed and feeling awful. Right, so she's probably needing Stuart's crystals right now, all right, and needs to take part in your challenge. So there's Lisa. Lisa, go and like and follow Major's page here, and she'll keep you abreast, and send her a private message as well. She'll keep you abreast of the challenge when she starts to do it. She was talking about doing this just in a couple of weeks. Okay, investment's very minuscule, I've got to say, but she's on doing it. Andrea is saying, just be nice. Color shouldn't matter. Just, do you know, isn't it funny how we see different things and things? My mum called me yesterday and she said, what do you think about all this, you know, that's going on out there with the riots and stuff? And I'm like, well, I think we've all been slaves at some point in our life, right? And nobody I know that's alive now is actually, you know, has what we call slaves. So it's really weird that, you know, they're really dragging all this up. What do you think about this, Jessica?
I think it's a very touchy subject. I think, you know, in the past, things have just been handled poorly. And it's amazing that still in 2020, we still have these same concerns and still have these same things. And mindsets have to be changed and things should be shifted. But it's frustrating when there is one rotten apple and it ruins the whole batch, you know. And I don't think that's in general the world's perspective, but it's, you know, just these few people that are having these and doing these things that are making it bad for all of us. And so I don't know, that's a whole nother show in itself. I don't feel like I can fully, you know, articulate it without having somebody of their race present, you know, to get their feedback in it.
Exactly. I mean, Dominique reckons it just feel innocent people getting hurt. I have got clients, you know, over Kentucky way and various other parts in the States, and you know, they're going out into the suburbs and stuff, hurting people, blinding innocent people in that. For what? I'll be controversial here, and you know, listen, Ben listens to Trump every night, can I say that, right? And I have to say that I've even been cheering him myself in the background until you start to look at things, you know, when you shift in a different way and you look at things in a different way and the things you look at change. When he's taking away censoring on the internet, right? Next thing you get that picture on, and then you get lots of riots and stuff in a time where we're supposed to be like doing the distance thing, right? It's a bit oppositional, and anyway, I can't help but feel that something's been orchestrated there, and I'm not a kind of conspiracy type person, but I suddenly slammed the brakes on and thought, well, wait a minute, he's just said to do something, and now we've got the opposite reaction, and then all of this is being caused, and I'm getting clients on calls and stuff who are terrified, absolutely, and fear does something to people, it really hems them in, doesn't it? Stuart's saying some opinions and actions must change if we are people together and want to live as peaceful as we keep asking for. Yeah, there you go, Stuart. It's an oppositional thing, isn't it? We all want peace. We all want to live our best life, but few of us are prepared to make the changes necessary in order to do that, because unbelievably, people fear change. Don't they, Jessica? They fear change.
Well, it's something that causes you to move, and a lot of times we're comfortable where we are. So yeah, change, I don't think many people like. You like the idea of it, but you don't like the process of it.
That's right. It's a very, very good way of looking at it. Heartbreaking seeing horses hurt. Absolutely. And they're innocent bystanders, for goodness sake. They're just doing what the men are instructing them to do. It's all about the operator. And that's an important thing to kind of remember, is that we, like the commander, we're a commander of our own life, right? We're the operator. So why would you hand that power over to somebody else, right? And then try and have your own life and empower your own life. When in actual fact, you've given your power away already. Andrea's saying, when the poles flip, the earth will get the reset it needs. That's a good way of looking at it. I can take that. Yep, I can take that. I've forgotten that we've left John. Wondering whether he's coming on. John's back. Wait a wee minute. Let's see if John is still there. John, I'll put. I'm not sure if you're still there. If you're still there, I'll put a wee, like, we're only on to 5 o'clock anyway, which will be 12 o'clock Jessica's time. Right, Sandy Tate, a big hello to you. Stephanie Swan, hello, Stephanie. Good to see you on here. Fabulous to have you on. Another fairy person, which is great. So send your questions in on here on the message section. And if you would like to ask Jessica anything regarding how she managed to change her life from a completely different profession and be on the path that she's on. Because quite simply, as well, I think the realization is that when we start to go, we are our own business, we are CEO of our own company, that it is possible to make money in your life without going to a 9-to-5. Right, by utilizing the gifts and the talents that you have. Right. All right. And that's really, you've gone from serving other people, haven't you, in the military sense, to now finding your clients and serving clients, right, in your vicinity that actually want to do and liberate themselves the way that you have. Because that's really what you've done, is liberate yourself.
I sure have. I mean, that's been the process and the journey for probably the past 3 to 5 years. And I think it's always asking that question and wondering what's next and seeing where can I go, and then just being introduced to new people and their new way of thinking. So I don't know. I'm just excited to see where the journey takes me. And at no point do I claim to have all the answers. And I haven't arrived. And hopefully I can just help get you all on the journey to self-discovery, self-love, self-empowerment, because I was telling Lara the other day, it's just so freeing to feel this way, to not be hemmed up by other people's expectations or even my own expectations, and just loving life and living this life the best that I can.
Absolutely. Jessica's saying, did you have a specific experience which changed your life?
I think for me, I always wanted to be a healer, and I didn't know how that was going to happen. And in phases, for me, it was phases of like kind of reaching this place. And then I guess now that I'm thinking of it more, my dad passed away about 6 years ago in February of 2014. And I was at like a real low point. Like I was depressed. I wasn't going to kill myself, but I remember standing on, I lived in Southern California. I remember standing on like the rocks, like the little rocky pier or whatever, and being like, you know what? If the waves just crashed over me and took me, I wouldn't fight. And, I think a few weeks later, I ended up getting the call that my father had passed away. And it just had ripped the ground from underneath me. He was like the biggest support and stability that I had, not necessarily emotionally, but like I knew I could turn to him for anything if I really needed it. And I looking back on it, I remember saying, I appreciate his sacrifice of his life because it helped save mine and helped turn me around to see and appreciate life and to appreciate the relationships I've had and appreciate those people who did love me, because you realize when somebody dies, there's it ripple effects to so many other people, and you don't realize it until that life is lost, right? And so that would probably have been the biggest shift in my life, was losing my father.
Okay. Thank you for sharing, actually. It was wonderful to hear you say that. I'm sure it'll resonate with a lot of the people on here. And John's waiting in the wings as well, so I'm going to add him into the thing and introduce you to John. Most people here are familiar with John. Here we go. Here he is. John. Oh, hang on. What on earth? There we go. That's better. There we go. John, meet Jessica. Jessica, meet John.
Hello, John.
Hello, pleasure to meet you.
Now, Jessica's, she's a major. She was promoted last year from captain to major, so she was, and come out in the military, and now she basically is, well, how would you call it? You're a free spirit, aren't you now? And you kind of run along in life. You make an income as you go along, so you do, and you have clients and you teach people and how to get out the funk in their life and live the best life they can and make money.
Yes.
Sounds good. Sounds good to me.
John's packed his bags. That's it now. Yeah, he was just saying he was a bit bored earlier on, so he's bored no more.
And I do silly things when I get bored, everybody, just to let you know. I do really, I do extreme things, It's not silly things like you say, I'm really bored, I think I'll decorate. No, I'm really bored, I'm going to knock the house down and build a new house. That's the kind of bored extreme I go to. So it's not good when Mr. Spratt gets bored.
Okay, so we couldn't have that, so we thought we'd better have him on here, because earlier on he was telling me the last time he got bored is he booked a whole year of ghost hunts, didn't you? 3 a week. I know. Spent thousands, but he did it. And he's not doing that again, so now he's looking for something new, aren't you?
I'm looking for something new. I've actually, in the last 20 minutes, just purchased a whole load of new tarot cards online. I know, I don't look at me like that. I think I need help. I'm going to be on that program, the American program, Hoarders.
Hoarders. You're going to have all these lockups, aren't you? And you're going to go here, and they're all going to be yours, aren't they? Where they're going in and selling everything in these lockups, yeah.
But it's just going to be tarot cards. So when they come in to empty like my trash, they're just all going to be full of guidance when they're going out. They'll be inspired. It's going to be great.
It is. So, you know that looking through the keyhole part, right? When they go to your house, I'm going to know it's you. Can I just having a stash of tarot cards? Right. John probably, just to let you all know out there, guys, he probably should be working in QVC. I think probably.
That is quite a good idea, actually. Yeah. I'm going to agree with you. And when we were talking earlier, I was showing some of my crazy decks to Lara. I'm going to keep them out of the way. I'm not going to bring them out and open you to that.
Look, DeCloux, Jessica, love you. Hope Hurley Thacker. Do you know Hope?
Yes, Hope is actually my landlord. She owns the salon that I rent out of and do massage therapy. So, hey, Hope. Thanks for coming.
Hi, Hope. Yay. Hi, Hope. Good to meet you. I love DeCloux, Jessica. Right, so I take it that's how you're known, is it, with it?
Yeah, that's how my name on Facebook is, my actual my actual page is DeCloux Jessica. So.
Oh, DeCloux, is that how you pronounce it? DeCloux.
Well, I mean, y'all would know better than me. I mean, it's French, but
It is.
I'll say it.
It is. It's a good name anyway. So Hope, hi guys, say hello to everybody. Hope here. We have John in the house, so we do. I know you don't want it. Listen, I had to leave the call earlier on because he treated me to seeing some of his tarot collection, right? And there was one that looked decidedly suspicious. Anyway, so I thought I better go just in case things got out of hand. And no, John, no. But has anybody seen the goddess tarot? Right? I want to know why there's not a god one.
I meant to look. I'm sure there is. There will be a god one, but I actually don't even think I bought this one. I'm sure a client gave me these, which is kind of worse after the card that I pulled earlier. Why would you give that to anybody?
Right, and the reason it came up, right, Jessica, I will make you laugh, is when Ben first started learning about cards, I was teaching him, right, we went to get his first set of cards. He was drawn to this first set, right, and we got them back home because they were all black, and it was more the design than anything. He didn't really look at them. He was more like, there and black and silver and stuff. Got them home, got them out the packet, and he was like, oh, they're all naked women. Right, and then it was lesbian cards, as he puts them, right? So you've got the gay women cards, gay men cards, right? And he happened to pick those ones, so he never lived it down, right? I think he actually gave them to somebody, some poor unsuspecting guy, right? Like I was telling John earlier on, and he said, oh my God, I can so relate to that. And he pulls out this deck. Come on, John, hit us with it. Here we go.
There is. Now, the cards are, they're lovely cards, okay, but, they've got nice imagery on them. Very, very nice. Some of them a bit strange. You do have a bit strange things going on there. I could always remember doing a reading with one of them, and this card came out. And since this card has come out, I cannot use these cards. Even looking at them just makes me laugh, because there is no way I could give anybody a reading and then bring out the opening. That card is called the opening.
And keep a straight face, John. And keep a straight face. It's like really, really old women with and like she's got cobwebs coming out of there.
There's everything's coming out of there. I just
No.
Yeah, that was tough. Now,
Patty's new to the page, and you've just pulled out that card, and she's gone, oh my God, Patty, you'll be wondering where the hell that you've come to, honestly. Seriously.
Now, since I got the two of you here, like, Lara and I, we've talked about cards and things like that, but I've never gotten a set, and just curious, like, how do you go about getting your first set?
Yeah. God, you're asking John. John's got, God, how many sets have you got? In fact, I don't think you've even actually counted your sets, have you?
I've not, but I'm so close to the hundreds.
Look at him. Look at him all coy-like as well. He actually looks like you need tarot card therapy.
I need therapy for it.
Therapy, don't they, when they're all constantly buying, right? John's got the tarot cards. But luckily, right, and I have messaged Laura for you, and she says that absolutely she'll do your cards for you. Okay? So you have your own set that you need to do. So we're looking like we're actually going to be able to quell the whole tarot card compulsion there. How do you get your first set? Well, my set, these are actually Russell Grant sets. They were designed by Russell. Well, Philip Garcia designed these for Russell Grant. But I've never read the book. But with the first set of these, my grandmother gave me them, all right, because I saw them in Mail and Sunday magazine. And before then, my first set, they were sitting on my grandmother's bed as she was having a clear out. It was the Rider-Waite tarot set, and I walked in, and they were just there, like there. So I managed to convince her to give me the set of cards. She wasn't going to give me them because she said my mum had tried to use them and couldn't. She tried to use them, so it was in reverse order, and she typed them all out and couldn't do, the meanings and stuff. So But I begged her, took them away. Now the book is tiny, right? It's about the same size and it's like minuscule writing. So I remember being in bed like this, trying, how the hell does that relate to everybody? How the hell? Studying at the time, single parent, went into college, and I said, oh, I've got this set of cards, stupidly, because I hadn't read them, and I was too proud to say I'd never read them. So I started doing this for people. I thought, how hard can it be? How hard? And 7 people reading, right? And nobody got to classes that day. And then a few weeks later, they all started coming back saying things had happened and were happening. So I thought, there's more to this than meets the eye. How does that happen? So basically, they've got to be given as a gift, right? Or literally wrestle their arm up the back. Because a lot of people will buy them and then go, well, I can't use them. So you're drawn to them, but it's quite handy because there's thousands of sets out there, as John has discovered, right? John has discovered. And so how do you choose amongst all that? So you kind of have to go to what you're drawn to, don't you? And then ask somebody to buy them for you.
Yeah. I'm always, even when I'm buying them online, if I can't see pictures of the cards, I don't buy them. Because I need to be able to see the pictures, and if I look at a set of cards, I can go, don't really feel connected to them. But then I can look at other ones and say, wow, the pictures are just jumping out. I could see them changing. Yeah. If you're in a shop, it is even better at buying them because it's like you just home in, you just focus on one set, and you pick them up, they feel comfortable in your hand. So people tell you you're not meant to buy them yourself. I think I bought about 80% of mine myself. I'm not a big believer in that. I believe your first...
How many have you used? You haven't used them. So that's actually true. You've bought them, but they've just sat there.
Yeah, your first deck, I believe you should get it bought for you, even if you have to give someone the money to buy them for you. You should get that, but you should feel comfortable.
John, you're not alone.
Stuart, me and you should hook up. We should do trades.
It'll be like trading cards, top trumps.
Yes, it'll be great. We could be at it all day long.
Oh my God, look at his little face light up there. Pat Taylor's going, maybe that's why I'm not getting all my cards. I bought them myself. That's exactly it. Because you don't read them in the same energy that you buy them. Right? When you're buying them with intent, you're doing it, you're being visual, and so you're being linear brained. But you don't read cards with your linear mind, you read them with your intuitive mind.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. It's true.
So, very insightful. Thank you.
And she's now more confused than what she was before she started.
And I'll tell you, never ever read the user manual. Never.
No, you can't even bloody well read the writing anyway. It's far too small. It'll make you feel like you're 103.
I have never ever read a book that comes with any tarot card, oracle card, anything. Never read the book. I don't even know why the author pays someone to write the book, because no one reads them. And then you get people like me that come along and say, do not read the book, because it will confuse you all the more.
Well, the Romany belief, says Jude, can be cursed and causes illness for receivers of readings if purchased by oneself.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Right, so Pat's now got you and Stuart as tarot card addicts. So we've actually coined there's a new addiction apparently going around. It's called
Tarot Extremists.
Tarot Cards Anonymous. Is that what you said?
I don't even think I've got, but the thing is, it's not just tarot cards for me. Okay, so I find unusual things like this.
Oh, I used to have those.
Fortune sticks.
Yeah, they're quite colourful. Have you tried to use those? They look like maps, don't they? They're very good.
I love my Chinese fortune sticks.
I haven't got a bloody clue what they say on them though, because it's in Chinese.
So in Chinese, but you only need to know the number.
That's it.
You just need the number. It's as simple as that. And then I don't know if you. Let me see if I could find them. Have you ever seen Ogam staves?
Oh, right. Stu says, hi, I'm Stu and I'm a card addict. Right, there you go. Very good.
Hi, Stuart. I'm John and I'm one too.
What else have we got?
Right, what am I looking for again? Orgasm staves. Talk amongst yourselves.
Like we're talking about ourselves. Like, so listen, Jessica, I'll get them as a gift for you. You can vibe towards them, okay?
Thank you.
No problem. Philippa's on as well. Hello, Philippa. Let's have a look. Katie said, famous Brian would like a card for his mummy, Andrea, please. All right, I'll go on. I'm going to pick a card for Andrea. Here we go. Let's pick a card. Right, because John's having a kerfuffle in his office right now.
I'm in the wrong box. I need to go to box 3.
Okay. Right. Andrea, is it an anniversary coming up, of a passing type thing? Because it's got you kind of energetically being reminiscing in the past here. All right. And kind of getting absorbed with it. Lots of thoughts going around in your head. But I feel that there's times where you want to reposition you and the family. I feel like you need to go a small holding. We probably do actually for all the animals, actually. I just realized I said that. Now, for you, you've got a lot of love to give. Right, it's been reciprocated, but I also feel there have been challenges roundabout you, particularly where family are concerned, that need to be put to rest. And I feel that the universe is going to be bringing you little situations over the next 3, 4, 5 weeks where you're going to be able to put to bed some of that angst from the past. Now it's time to crack the whip, not at Katie, but to crack the internal whip anyway, right? And kind of get the bull by the horn, so to speak, and stand up in your power, sweetheart. I'm feeling now either an eye test or dental thing, which is probably like maybe nobody can have at the moment, obviously, because of the whole lockdown thing and keeping the distance. But I was even able to see an osteopath the other day with the mask and everything on. And you know what? If I was able to see an osteopath, then I'm sure that the hairdressing side, the whole going to the doctors, going to the opticians, going to the dentist is probably going to be not far away. So anyway, lots of love to you, Andrea, and thank you so much for coming and cheering us up and bringing the lovely Brian with you. John, have we sorted ourselves over there?
I've got the orgasm staves now. Okay, so these are oh wait, you're not going to see them like that. Let me do it this way. They are all different types of sticks, and they're from all different types of trees, and they've got different symbols on them.
Okay.
And each one, if you're a bit like me, I call myself a bit of a hippie. I like to touch trees when I'm outside, and I could like pick up the energy on it and stuff. I'm a bit weird like that. I'm a weirdo. So these are great for me because even holding them, certain woods, certain trees have got a different energy which represent different things. A bit like this one, which kind of symbols that. That's the birch tree. Okay, so that's all about beginnings, new starts, because it's a tree that's it's the first to blossom in the spring. So it's all about that opening, that new beginnings. So it's great. I love these. These are fabulous. All right.
Apparently they can't see you because of the, for some reason, it's only the Supernatural page that has the, the writing across the front, all the subtitles and that. And for some reason, I can't get them off when I'm doing my own page. I'm wondering whether if I switched it around a little bit. Oh, no, wrong one.
What's the subtitles? They just need to turn them off.
They need to turn them off, or the...
Yeah, they turn them off on their side.
Okay, turn them off on your side. Turn them off on your side. There we go.
Yeah, it's a Facebook thing, but you could turn them off on your side. You touch your screen, and I think it's called captions.
Okay.
I think.
Captions, right. Okay, we'll have to remember that. Okay, right. Well, we're going to be finishing, I've got to say, because I said it was till 5, which is actually 12 o'clock. Is it your time, Jessica?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Good.
Lunchtime.
We've loved today, haven't we? We've loved today. And everybody's loved having you on. John, those things remind me of bones, like reading bones.
Funny that. I've just put my hand on my bones. I've got my bones here as well.
Right.
It's a sheepskin mat, and you hold the bones and you drop them onto the sheepskin mat, and wherever they land is the way you read them. It's quite a voodoo sort of way of doing readings. Voodoo priests and priestesses would read using bones from different animals back in the days as well from people, I'm pretty sure.
Good God, we're going to need to have a night of doing that. Like, we could bring all our methods of divination, can't we? Weird and wonderful. And see what happens. We would love to do that. Yeah.
I've did a reading for someone. I went to their house and they said, do a reading for me using anything I give you. Because as far as I'm concerned, you could read using anything. Okay. And they handed me a box of Monopoly. And I gave a full reading from a Monopoly, using the little hat and the horse and the houses, the hotels, the money, the chance and luck cards that come in it. I gave a full reading using a game.
Oh my God, sure, that's actually a brilliant idea, isn't it? Where we read any item, right, to see what happens. A Monopoly set, that's got to be the most unusual one I think I've ever heard.
It's pretty unusual. Well, I have a client and she collects teapots. And I went to her house and I gave a reading using her teapots. I went to her shelf and I picked 5 teapots that I was drawn to and I sat them on the table and I gave her a reading using the teapots like you would tarot cards.
That's brilliant. Oh my God, I think that's an idea for a show, John.
That could be an idea for a show.
Nobody else has done that. That would be hilarious, wouldn't it? Like some of the unusual stuff that people would give you. Oh my God. We could.
Any random thing. If you've got multitudes of them, and long as they're all different, we could read them.
Absolutely. Jessica, you can just see this is going to go down really well.
You don't need tarot cards, Jessica. Just get yourself some teapots.
We'll be fine.
I'm a bit of a hoarder myself, so there's probably a lot of stuff in there that we could pick to use.
It's like a cyclic antique roadshow.
What a good idea.
I know, and we could go over to Jessica. We could actually fly across there and read all our stuff with it.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. That is interesting though, that concept of like reading people's stuff, because there's a lot with people's their own things, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think we spoke about this one day as well, Lara, about people's belongings and what people have around them. You know, you could tell a lot, do a reading on what people have in and around or what they carry around with them as well.
Well, yes, because I always think, right, and ladies, you'll probably agree with this, is you can tell a lot by a woman's handbag. Let's just say that. You can actually read for the women to do with the items in her bag.
And Lara, that's kind of like a point where we were talking about getting out of the funk. Like today, I've also been cleaning. Like I've had a lot of dishes and a lot of things that need to be sorted. So focusing on that, because as it is in the natural, it is in the spiritual. So that funk is kind of just clouding my head. So clearing that all out too.
Absolutely. It's a very good point. Handbags, cupboard units, feng shui, believe in that, don't they? Moving the energy, right? Making it clutter free, rounding off the corners in your sitting rooms, your house, putting a mirror at the front door so that it reflects the negative energy. You know, it doesn't allow it to come back in the house, depending on where the position of the door is to the road type thing. Making sure if you're next to water, that the water is flowing water and not stagnant water. Otherwise, it kind of holds on to the negative energy a bit. We've got a whole new show in that, guys. All right.
When we bought this house, believe it or not, I had my feng shui checklist before I bought it.
Now, that is my kind of thing, definitely, John, right? And these things matter, don't they, Jessica and John? They do. I've just realised you've both got the JJ name, right? So we've got J squared. That's what we've got. Listen, we better go because I know Jessica's got to shoot off. She's got another engagement, and it's John's tea time. So before Erin starts hollering up with theirs, I know.
I've got 15 minutes, which is good. So I'll have time. I might go and, I don't know, I might pull some of my cards out and put them. I'm making a new bowl. So I do this thing where I have a big bowl and I've just got loads of tarot cards where like maybe I've got a deck where a card's missing. I throw them all in a bowl and mix a bowl up. So when I'm doing readings for people, they get a random card from this big bowl. I'm saying a bowl, it's more like a bucket.
That's a bit of a. That's not a bowl.
I was imagining those big bingo things.
I know.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, we mentioned bowl.
Yeah.
I thought a nice big posh glass crystal bowl, a proper, like a fish bowl type thing. No.
Wait,
Isn't it funny? Mention a word. This is interesting because when we're reading for people, it's, what we say, we have to really watch because it's all imperative. It's to do with the way that people receive it, right? And so we when we learn, we try not to be leading, right? We have particular wording so that we try so that people don't automatically jump to the wrong conclusion and stuff like that. It's a minefield. It's not just about learning to read the cards, is it? It's about learning about people as well. And the more you do it, the more you discover about yourself. This is why I think everybody should try and learn to read a set of cards, right? Because it's so revealing about themselves. Definitely. But guys, we've got to go. Thank you very much, Jessica, for coming on, for Major Boss. Go and like and follow our page. We've got the wonderful John Spratt as well. Like and follow his page too if you haven't done already. And for myself, and I'll see you next time. I think I'm on Laura's Remix page later on at 8 p.m. tonight, guys. I'm on there and she's doing her thing. So if you would like to join us over there later, we'd love to see you. But bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.
Hugs. Bye.